Okay, welcome back to Empire of the Sun. And last time we met, we had the combat down here from the Allies, and we resolved it. And we had that big thing here in Bougainville where we repelled. We repelled that attack. And following that, he did his PBM, his post battle movement. Then, for the sake of brevity and for the sake of saving time, I went ahead and told my opponent that I was going to play my card in advance of his doing a PBM. And so I actually played the card that I said I was going to play, which was the anti-ISR card, the card that got us out of ISR, which here, if you remember, is this card. Okay, that gets us out of ISR. Okay, so one of the bonus uh, features of the card is that it allows us to pick a card, dumpster dive, as it were, to go back into our discard pile and pull a card in exchange for a card that we have. Pull a card for our um, pull a card for us to exchange it with. And so what I did was I went ahead and used this game for the event. Not the game, sorry, this card for the event. Got the ISR removed, and then if you remember, I said that I would get rid of this card, the Kamikaze card. Okay, so I had that card in my hand, got rid of it, and in exchange got this card. Okay, so that's nice. There's a battle card, it's a military card, it's got lots of activations. So I'll be using this to do my attack on Burma in exchange for this Kamikaze attack card, which is a utility 2 card. Not as useful. So that's a nice trade. Okay. So I got that in the previous turn. I played, and that was my card play for that um, turn, as it were. And then he, my opponent, um, went ahead and played this card down here as his next card, which is this military event, Olympic Coronet, the invasion of Japan. This is a very, very powerful card, but unfortunately it came at the wrong time. It's very powerful because as you can see, the logistic value is 12, and you can only activate the Southwest Pacific or Central Pacific HQs. But those are pretty powerful HQs. So as a matter of fact, if you look at the HQ for Central Pacific has an efficiency of 3. 3 plus 12, that's 15 activations. So you can activate 15 units. And you can actually temporarily gain 4 ASPs to be used for the duration of this offensive. So it's very powerful. Unfortunately, the condition is quite severe. The condition is says in order for the card to be used to play played as an event, he has to invade Japan. He has to have at least one Japanese island hex must be declared as a battle hex, and the potential for a ground combat must exist. Okay, and well, obviously that is not the case here because he's not anywhere near attacking Japan. So he has to use this only as an OC. Okay, and so he did that. Okay, he activated Anzac, and which allowed him, which gives him the privilege of activating up to 4 units and 1 battle hex. He only activated 2 units. This unit and this unit is Australian ground unit, which came from somewhere. I think it was from Cairns or Gilly or somewhere. I'm not really sure. And then he used it to invade to do an amphibious assault on this hex. Okay. Now that's okay. What's going on here is that this is not. I cannot do a special reaction like I did earlier at Bougainville to make this a battle hex because this is not anywhere near. This is anywhere in under Japanese air zone of influence. Okay, Azoi. So since it's all allied, he can just land there. His intention is to go up and attack Vogelkop and take that. So that's that'll be his first progress of the war um, objective. Remember, he has to. One of the things that the allies have to do from this turn on, turn 4 going on until the end of the turn, until the end of the game, is he has to do something called progress of the war. That means he has to capture. He has to capture Japanese-held bases or any named Japanese um, bases, ports, air base, anything. So here in this particular case, you'll capture a resource, okay? And you'll see that I do something about that in the move, in my next move. But anyway, so he goes ahead and does that. He activates this and tries to attack Ambuina, and I have to roll intelligence to try to react to it. I have to roll a 3 or less. Okay, and you might say, hey, hang on, he's inside my Azoi. Doesn't that guarantee give me a -2 modifier on my intelligence die roll? The answer is no, it doesn't, because not in this case, because you have to have moved into the Azoi for that to happen. He didn't move. He started off here. He was already in the Azoi when he launched his attack. So it doesn't apply. So I have to try to roll a 3 or less, which is, pretty tall order. There's a 40% chance of, only a 40% chance of success. And I failed to do so. I didn't hit him, and I did not make the intelligence die roll, and it is for him a surprise attack. And what is a surprise attack? A surprise attack allows him to get a +3 modifier, die roll modifier, +3. So it's a +3 for him, +3 for him, and he rolled a 5, if I'm not mistaken. He rolled a 5, which unfortunately 5 + 3 is 8 is the full result. So I have flipped, okay. And I now hit him. In a surprise attack, combat is not simultaneous. Attacker hits first. So he hit me, and he flipped me, and the only way I can hurt him now is through a critical hit. I have to roll a 9, which I did not. I think I rolled a 1. Okay, so I did not hurt him at all. So in this particular case, there's an allied victory. He was able to take out a step of Japanese air with no cost to himself, which is really bad. But such is life. Okay, so so following that, I went ahead and played my card. There's not much of a PBM here that will affect me, so I went ahead and played my card without seeing his PBM. And that's this card that we just pulled from our discard pile, Hago, the Burma offensive, and I activated the South HQ because it only worked with South or South East HQ. So South HQ is this guy. So 6 + 1 is 7 activations. So I went ahead and activated these 3 guys. Activated, let's see what activated this guy 4. Activated this guy 5. Activated this area unit 6. And I activated this area unit 7. Okay, I'm not an ISR anymore, so now I can activate Army and Navy units again. Okay, so what I did was I moved this guy, this half army from Palembang. I moved him to Tainan, and I'll tell you why I did that later. Then the attack came here. I went attack, so it's attack here. Okay, attack there. Move this Japanese airplane here. Move this guy by transport here. Move this Japanese air unit here. 3 hops, 5 steps. Now you might say, oh, wait a minute, that's way over stacked. Okay, the stacking limit, by the way, I don't know if I've ever discussed that, but the stacking limit in this game is in any single hex, in any single land hex, I should say, no more than 3 combined air and land units. So you can see that this is overstacked because I have 3 air units and 1 land unit. I really only should have 2 air units and 1 land unit, or 3 air units, or whatever. And my answer to that is that's okay. You can actually temporarily overstack because stacking is not checked until after combat. So I can overstack here, attack, and then after PBM, all the air units go back to where they came from. Then I should be okay. Okay, so what I did here was, if I'm not mistaken, so obviously this is a battle hex. Okay, and I took all these air units, and these air units are going to attack I think I did. I made this support, give this guy cover. I took this thing, this air division, and went after. Whoops. Okay, went after this guy, and I think I took this guy and went after this guy. Okay. I wanted to, again, more pinning. Okay, so this one attacks this, so gives it air cover. I attack with B here to pin, mainly to pin this 312 Chinese unit in Mandalay so it doesn't react into this hex. I want to destroy this unit. And then the others are also there to pin air units down. He'll be able to react with air units, of course, and it will be this big old battle, and we'll see what happens. But remember, he can replace air a lot more quickly and a lot more easily than I can. So anyway, so those are the combats. That's the attack that the Japanese are doing here in Burma. My aim is to conquer Burma. It would be nice if I could do it this turn. That will bring his political will down to a very dangerous level. Because right now he's at 4. At the end of the turn, he will automatically drop down to 3 because of this Alaska occupied counter. That brings it to 3. If he doesn't make progress of the war, he has to capture 3 bases by the end of the turn. Okay, so he hasn't captured 1 yet. Okay, and he's looking at trying to capture Vogelkop. That'll be his first. He's already out of ASPs, so you gotta wonder whether or not where he's gonna get his second ASP. He kind of has to do an invasion, and it's not, he doesn't have the ASPs for that anymore. All right, so he's got that problem. So assuming that problem becomes an issue, and then he cannot really to make progress of the war, he'll drop another political will. He'll be at the +2 territory. Okay, and if I conquer Burma, it drops another, so it drops to +1. We are very, very near 0, the treaty negotiations space. If we're dealt next turn, there's a couple of cards that will drop political will for the Americans by 1, either by 2. One is by the Tokyo Rose card. There's a card that it would be nice if we got dealt that card. Tokyo Rose, which will drop political will by another. There's the Tojo Resigns card, which will drop political will by 2, which should also pretty much game over for him. The Americans, on the other hand, also have cards that will raise political will. One of them is the Bataan Death March. That's a +1 in the political will, and the other one is the Doolittle Raid. That's another +1. So my hope is that I get dealt my card where he gets dealt his, and we can finish this game and a rousing Japanese victory. All right, so this is it. So we'll see what happens and see how the Allies react and the combat resolution and all that. And hopefully this will go well, and we have to conquer Burma. Oh, by the way, to conquer Burma, I should talk about that really quickly. I have to occupy all of our cities. So I've already occupied Rangoon. It's a very, very important city to conquer because, first of all, I get rid of that -1 penalty that I had earlier in activating units in Burma. Also, it allows me to be able to transport units quickly to Burma. Transporting through Bangkok takes a little bit of time. But if I transport units quickly to Burma, I'm a lot better off. So if I conquer that, I have to conquer Burma. I have to occupy Akyab. I have to occupy Akyab, Mandalay, Lashio, and Metkina. These 4 cities inside Burma. If I capture all these 4 places, then that will give me Burma, and Burma will fall, and that will put him into extremely dangerous political territory. But that's to be seen, and hopefully will come to pass in the next few cards. So thank you very much, and let's wait for his response.